What's up? Welcome back to one of my videos. Just want to talk about some type shit. Stuff that's on my mind, stuff I learned about hypergamy, girls, making money, overall increasing all your stats as a man so you can finally meet your 10 out of 10 wife. That's basically what this entire channel is about, and all the lessons that I've learned and what I tell you not to do and what to do. Alright, cool. Kind of on the similar trajectory as what I tell you all the time, right? Get into e-com, preferably do some black hat stuff, or, you know, run some VIP on the back end. Let's say you're running supplements, right? Do a supplement brand, do VIP on the back end, maybe do like an app that your, market can download, target like really old people or really young people, and dial in your back end. Sign up with Phoenix or another CRM like PaySite. I don't know if you're this advanced in e-com, but basically, start off learning with like Mark Builds brands. Start off learning with like, I don't know, e-com legend or these basic guys. Buy a course, preferably something like Evolve, but any course will do. You could even pirate a course online. Once you learn the fundamentals, I would recommend becoming a creative strategist for a brand that's doing, 500K plus a month, somewhere in that range. Become a creative strategist, learn everything in and out of how they do it. They make concepts, they do idea generation, copywriting. It'll teach you everything. You only need to work as a creative strategist for 2-3 months, and you'll figure it out. Now, a lot of the time they won't hire someone who has no experience, right? But there's a lot of e-com brand startups who are fine with training people from the ground up on how to become good at creative strategy. I was really lucky, right? I was working for a brand like that, and they basically taught us like the blueprint, but I probably wasn't the best person to teach because I'm a very entrepreneurial kind of guy, and I knew that the second I understood everything, I would dip and do something on my own, right? Once you learn creative strategy, you honestly know a lot about building your own brand and getting it to, let's say, 100K a month or more easily in revenue, which honestly isn't that much, right? But let's just say that. You'll learn enough about marketing, you'll learn everything about market psychology, you'll learn about e-com, Shopify, you'll hear all these terms and you'll understand it well, and you'll realize, okay, this is definitely possible for me to make more than 20, 30K a month, for sure. Just get that money thing off your head, right? Because you're not going to be able to enjoy hooking up with these random girls at parties. You're not going to be able to enjoy dating your next girlfriend. You're not going to be able to enjoy it if you have money on your in the back of your mind, because you're always going to get kind of subconsciously annoyed that you keep paying for her bills. You got to worry about your family and paying for their bills. You want to make sure you're this person that your family has, given everything to, and you got to make sure you pay them back, right? And to be this guy who's just sitting on his couch, maybe making like 5-6K a month, but you're not anything special. To me, that's like one of the worst things you could possibly do, right? And it's disrespectful for yourself, and it's disrespectful for your family when they have all this hope in you and they want you to do something so successful and you have all this potential inside you, but if you don't manifest it, that shit's cooked. And if you're just this average Joe making 5, 6, 7K a month, right, in the US, and obviously that sounds very privileged, but I'm telling you, there's going to be some other guy who eventually takes your girl for whatever reason. Maybe he has enough money to travel a lot. Maybe he has enough money to go out more. Maybe he doesn't even have money, but he just goes out more and he's more low inhibition, and he might not be as intelligent, but at least he lives up life, or he has enough money and he could pay for those freaking surgeries for his face to look better. It's all about how much leverage that you got, right? And if you're like me, you can't even enjoy having fun with people unless you're super rich, because then it's like almost spoiling yourself, right? If I'm around my girlfriend all the time, but I'm not taking care of the ones who love me and have done everything for me, that's very disrespectful for them. So you got to get money out of the way. Like, honestly, your looks could come later, the girls could come later. You got to dial in on getting more income into your fucking bank. Okay, cool. Get into e-com, crypto. There's probably some other stuff you can get into if you look into black hat stuff, get into meme coins, whatever, but they do actually work. I would recommend e-com, and e-com's getting more and more competitive, so right now is the number one time to even get into this stuff. Cool. Some other stuff. Let's talk about it. With looks maxing, bro, I used to always say like long hair is superior, and I honestly still low-key believe that. I think everybody looks better with long hair. But normal people who aren't in this like looks maxing space, and like, I don't know, normal girls or just like people in general who aren't obsessed with like fucking looks like me, a cleaner cut with short hair, wearing your hat more, and just going with society, unfortunately. So like looking your part, looking clean, not looking too unconventional, right? You know, taking care of yourself, skincare, having a skincare routine, like perming your hair, all this shit, wearing necklaces, jewelry, bro, that goes very, very far. The average person isn't studying your craniofacial structure. Now, of course, if there's like a Chad Light who walks in the room, that's going to be a very big deal. Obviously, strive to be that. But the mid guy, or like even the below average guy who has clear skin and has a perm and really takes good care of himself and wears good clothes, I'm telling you, they will absolutely, and he's very neurotypical and, you know, normal and talks like he's the shit. He's gonna fucking kill the fucking high T normie to the stratosphere when it comes to pulling girls, because I've literally seen this, right? There's a guy I know, his craniofacial structure is pretty shit, to be completely honest. He has a bad eye area, bad jaw, bad teeth. To be completely honest, a lot of his features aren't even that good, but he's lean, he's got a perm, he looks clean for sure, he has really good fashion, he wears necklaces and shit, he's got a little fame to him, he's got like 50K followers, but he doesn't even leverage that much because he pulled the girls before that. And he's just a very social guy. And that guy wipes pretty much everybody out of the park, right? I know that's just one example, but I've seen this consistently, right? I've seen this among people I know. I see these people who pull a bunch of girls and I didn't expect it. And it's just because they don't give a shit. They just take care of themselves, unironically, right? Now, I still have the belief of like looks maxing goes a lot deeper, right? Because if you want to get into acting, if you want people to perceive you in a different kind of way, like, oh, this guy has like a different level of beauty, or if you're just like very, if you get a lot of your serotonin from other people, and like the one thing that makes you happy is like mogging people and looking better than other people, which is one of my favorite things, to be honest, then yeah, I actually don't even care if I pull less girls than people. I honestly don't even care if I act stupider than people. I don't care if people think I'm weirder than other people. I don't even care whatsoever if I don't go to society's standards. So long as I'm better looking than, I don't know, 90% of the population, that's like that makes me like super happy, to be completely honest. Like the way I look is like what am I saying? Like just looking good, right? It's almost like you kind of become unmoggable, right? And of course, like there's always going to be a bigger fish. There's always some guy who like mogs me, but like to me, like look, I would say like Penguin Z0 is like a good person to look like. I would say like he looks good enough to the point where it's not like overbearing, where it's like he can't just go to a dinner and like somebody mentioned his looks. Like he's good looking enough, but it's not to the point where it's just like ridiculous. Someone like James Franco, someone like Ezra Miller. I mean, I know those guys are like super good looking, right? But looking something like that is just like completely ideal, right? That's just like your life is just going to be on easy mode. And even if it's not, you're still going to deal with hardships. It's still just like great feeling walking around and looking beautiful, because the amount of advantages that you get is just completely ridiculous. And this goes to my next topic. It's also just not that. I know you could still be neurotypical and get girls, but looks do matter a lot. And the reason why is because there's so many of these girls who are just frauds, right? There's this girl that I used to date. She is above average looking. She's a cute girl, right? But with makeup and with her lashes and with her microblading, her eyebrows and all this, and her dyeing of her hair and whatever, black, she is like a HTB plus. If you don't know, she's like super attractive, right? And all the guys want to get with her. And without the makeup, she is still good looking, but nothing crazy. It's kind of like Brooke Monk, right? And it really goes that deep. Like these girls are frauding everything possible so that they could level up their social status to be with the best kind of man. And they won't go with the guy who is their actual match. They won't even go with the guy who's maybe 1 point higher. They're going to go with the guy who's 3-4 points higher, and they're going to fraud their way to get there. And all they care about in the end is social status. Now, I don't want to say this is for every girl, but I'd say 90% of the girls are going to be like this. It's kind of crazy, right? And maybe they're not thinking about looks the same way I am, but they are paying attention to social class, social status, I don't know how old someone is, how much money they have, and they will do everything to get to that level. And the one thing that they can manipulate, that guys get manipulated more because they're visual, is their appearance. Because the appearance, it's mainly appearance and innocence, and those are the two things they tend to lie about. They pretend to be really innocent, they haven't been with many guys, and they act very, very pure, and they act very, very obsessive with the guy. and then they also try their very best and they try every single thing possible to be as good looking as possible. And I know that's what I'm doing, right? Like, I want to look smacks, right? But for guys it's a bit different, right? Because like, in order to look better, we gotta like train, and training does take work, right? We gotta eat protein, we gotta eat healthier, right? Or and like, girls could do the same thing, right? But we don't really use I don't know what my point is. Like, you can use makeup if you're a guy, right? But for the most part, like, guys are gonna call you out if you start wearing a bunch of makeup, if you start wearing mascara and eyelashes and microblading. You're gonna, look kind of ridiculous to people, right? And you can do what you want to do, but it's gonna be a bit awkward, and a lot of girls will be turned off by that. You can do it subtly, right? Whatever, but we don't really get to fraud as much as these girls do, and it really goes really, really deep to the point where they want to elevate their genetic line even when their genetics aren't even worthy. And a lot of dudes get easily tricked and manipulated with this. But you gotta your girlfriend is the number your girlfriend is the number that she is without makeup. And also, you should pay attention to what she looked like before she had her glow up. I'm dead serious. And the reason why is because there's a big difference between raw genetics and development, right? So the girl, like, the main way you could tell this is through someone's eyes and through someone's hair quality naturally, which you won't know their hair quality if you didn't know them earlier, right? But most people can get orthodontic work. And orthodontic work will make your palate look really wide. And if you have a wide palate, that's going to look like you're really, really developed, right? Another one is dyeing your hair. If you have like this black dyed hair that's permed, you're gonna fraud your genetics. Another one is like eyebrow density. They could easily darken their eyebrows, whatever. They could dye their eyelashes. You could do all this shit for frauding. You could even fraud your jaw development, and you could fraud better nutrition, and you could it's really honestly pretty crazy. But like, just with looks maxing, you could really get yourself up substantially, even if you're in a pretty cooked situation with your genetics. It's pretty insane. Especially like women can. Guys could do the same, but need to be a lot more careful. But yeah, like, I don't know. My main point is, like, if you look at someone's eyes, like, they're not really easily frauded, right? Like, the second Brooke Monk takes off her makeup, you could see where her genetics actually lie, and that's why Brooke Monk is like the prime example, right? Like, nothing even changes except her eyes, and she goes from like a 9 out of 10 to like a 5 out of 10 girl, and it's all in the eyes. So the eyes matter so much. I know I probably sound biased because like my eye area is not bad, but like, if you look at Rami Malek, who has great development, great teeth, whatever, he probably had braces, everything else is great, but the eyes are a bit off, and it completely ruins his appeal. Now, he's decent looking still, of course, but everything becomes off, right? So that's number one. If you want to pay attention to someone's genetics, the eyes don't lie. Now, everything else is development, and with development, a lot of that, once you make money, you could fix, right? You could get palate expanders, you could get MSE, you could get orthodontic work, you could get a perfect teeth, perfect veneers, whatever, whiten your teeth, whatever. You could get skin treatment, you could get microblading, eyebrow transplants, hair transplants. You could do all of these things. You could get your teeth completely aligned. You could get your jaw completely. You could get filler, implants, double jaw surgery, all this stuff to fix your shit. But the eye area is very, very hard to change. You could still get surgery for your eyes, but it's very rare for it to come out well. It could definitely be done, but highly, highly risky. And you don't want to do that because you might go blind, or you might do, some other bad shit will fucking happen, right? Potentially. It's a very risky area. Now, you can still have good eyes if you like dye your eyelashes, dye your eyebrows, but eventually you need to keep redying and keep redying. You need to keep frauding over and over, and eventually someone will see who you really are. One day, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in general, like, you'll always see your girlfriend eventually without makeup, and then you realize, oh shit, this person's a fraud, or some other kind of thing, right? It's ridiculous, completely ridiculous, but that's how the game is. Last thing, that's a lot of it. Yeah, just like try to get a little bit of status with like YouTube or social media. Maybe do like calisthenics, maybe do gym, maybe do something where you have like your knack. Maybe you are really good at video games or something. Make content regarding something that you're already interested in, because it's gonna just flow naturally. And yeah, lean down. Leaning down will be like the number one. Almost everybody looks better leaning down. And also, if you're watching this long, comment down below what would probably ascend me the most. I'm pretty sure it would be filler or implants or double jaw. I don't know for sure. because I'm really risk averse and I don't want to do anything stupid. And I don't know if my looks are already like decently good enough, right? But I'm definitely thinking of like, well, I know I definitely want to get like orthodontic treatment in the future once I have enough money. I could do it now, but I don't know. I'm probably gonna wait another year, 2 years. But like if that doesn't like improve my jaw enough, then I would probably consider filler implants, kind of like a Tom Cruise kind of situation, where he was like mid-tier normie with like really good eye area, and then he went all the way to true Adam, which I don't think that will happen to me, right? But it's definitely something that I think that would improve me pretty dramatically. I just don't know for sure what to do, how to do it, but I'm just gonna look into it more. That's it. Peace.